So the Captain Kobe incident. We have quite a lot to unpack about this recent chapter, but there's one specific thing that I really want to talk about. And if you guessed some child soldiers packing angel wings resembling some warlords, well, then you guessed right. But it's not only unpacking the hype surrounding the new Seraphim models of the pacifistas, we're going to dig a little deeper and try to connect some dots. So bear with me, some headcanon, but mostly just theory crafting, right?
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
From anime to movies to commercials, food has always been made to look great, and because of One Piece, I've always wondered what it would be like to be on the Thousand Sunny eating Sanji's amazing cooking every day. However, what if you could have that quality every day? Well, you surely can with today's sponsor, HelloFresh. So with HelloFresh, you can get mouth-watering seasonal recipes and fresh, pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door with HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh makes cooking at home fun, easy, and affordable. No matter what's going on in the world, everyone's gotta eat. That's why HelloFresh is here to make eating better, easier. No grocery stores, no stressful meal planning, just everything you need to prepare wholesome, delicious meals, all delivered to your door. Not only is it quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, but you can also discover seasonal recipes from the Taste of Summer series like the Old Bay shrimp and sausage boil, family-style grilled steak lettuce wraps, and so much more. Looking to wow a crowd at your Labor Day barbecue? Try grilling up HelloFresh's cheese stuffed burgers with pesto aioli or grilled salmon with balsamic tomatoes. Oh my God. Going on vacation? Not a problem, because with HelloFresh, you can update your delivery address and enjoy HelloFresh at your vacation destination with just a click. Plans are flexible, so they work with your ever-changing schedule. HelloFresh is up to 72% cheaper than dining at a restaurant or grocery shopping, according to a Zagat dining survey, and getting back into the fall season can be busy, but weeknights can be made so much easier with foolproof, step-by-step recipes ready in around 30 minutes or less. And even if you don't have a regular diet, HelloFresh offers veggie, pescatarian, and fit and wholesome meals to make it easy to stick to your goals. So ditch your usual boring low-cal foods for HelloFresh today and use code POG B.D.A. SEPT16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes plus 3 surprise gifts using the link in the description down below. So let's start at the top. Seraphim. That's the name of the pacifistas, but Seraphim also happens to be the name of not only the holiest, but the 7 highest angels, including Gabriel, Michael, and funny enough, Lucifer, right? Devil fruits. We're going to get back to that later. I also find it intriguing that there's 7 warlords, and then I'm speculating that it could be 7 Seraphim, more than likely. It makes you wonder if Oda had this planned all along, but to double back to Lucifer being cast out and Blackbeard being, well, Blackbeard, I feel like maybe, just maybe, we may see a Seraphim go rogue. I mean, we saw how difficult it was for Kobe to kind of bring it under control, so the Seraphim is said to have 6 wings, although the One Piece Seraphim obviously have 2. But then it brings me to 7 minus 1, 6, right? My head is spinning at all possible foreshadowing, I can't lie to y'all, but the Seraphim in Christianity is known to represent order or light. Funny enough that the world government has the light fruit user in their ranks. And lastly, purity. So that explains the angel wings, but also wonder about the purity part. I mean, purity and innocence are often related to children. So are the Seraphim going to stay children or grow up? I mean, we've seen Oda throughout the series make head nods and take inspiration from other religions and myths and put his own spin on it. So who knows? I'm not sure, but if I were a betting man, I'm thinking we're going to have some kids wreaking havoc for a good while. But the Seraphim are also supposed to represent fire, and we have a sun god who can use fiery abilities, as well as a flame emperor. More possible foreshadowing. Let's come back to this video in a year and we'll see how we did. Another thing I really want to talk about, and I'm really curious about, is the eyes. Now, we've seen other series, right? Shonen Gun, one in particular using Sanji's original name, that have a lot of power and intrigue surrounding eyes and their abilities, Dojutsu. This happens a lot less often in One Piece, but we have had 3 characters in particular with really crazy eyes: Mihawk, Imu, and even Gear 5 Luffy. And of course, we have an honorable mention in Hakuba and Zunisha. But back to Mihawk's eyes, which are almost surely related to observation haki, I gotta put on my tinfoil hat and speculate that in some way, shape, or form, those eyes are symbolic of ancient wisdom or haven't seen something that most others haven't. I mean, Zunisha is ancient, Nika is a sun god, Imu is who knows what. And also, if you're upgrading Pacifista and choosing specific eyes, you're gonna choose the superior eyes. They had the Mihawk, or rather Kid Hawk, keep Mihawk's eyes, which does tell us someone that Mihawk's eyes are not normal. But back to Imu, he could be another god or immortal or celestial dragon maybe. And Hakuba is, well, a sleepwalking alter ego? And I'm not sure, man. Hakuba might be a demon, but regardless, we know that everyone with these special eyes in One Piece, they've seen some stuff. Anyways, Kid Hawk has the same eyes as regular Mihawk. The thing is though, those aren't the eyes I'm worried about. When we see Kid Boa, she has stars for pupils. Now maybe I'm overthinking it because it's anime and characters have cool and wacky designs, but I think there might be something more to it. But at the same time, we have a whole whole book on theories in Zora's eyes, so who knows? We might all be surprised very soon. At the very least, it would be cool to have kid warlords running around with angel wings and a bunch of different kinds of eyes, maybe some demon or moon eyes? Now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this. We know Vegapunk is the mastermind behind the pacifists, and it seems like Kuma, considering he was a warlord, was just mere foreshadowing for Vegapunk's cloning prowess. Not gonna lie, me personally, I wouldn't take that, no. Me personally, I was confused on whether or not the pacifists were clones or robots, but I think now I can say with certainty, I'm still not sure, okay? But we do know this, the original pacifists were based on Kuma, and also Vegapunk was able to create a one-to-one replica of Kaido's mythical Zoan fruit. Now, this opens a whole can of worms because the possibility for the former warlords and their Seraphim kids, siblings, not sure because cloning is weird, but regardless, we have an insane roster of warlords. Doflamingo, Moria, Kuma, Crocodile, Mihawk, Boa, Jinbei, Weevil, Buggy, Law, and last but not least, Blackbeard. Now, of course, Oda with this subtle foreshadowing and hints has blessed us with seeing not just one or two, but all of the warlords drawn as children. Sneaky Oda. But that being said, though we also got to see Kaido, who Vegapunk has the DNA of, as well as King aka Albert, this opens an entire world of possibilities that can definitely drag out the length of One Piece. As cool as it would be to go down the rabbit hole of Kid Crocodile and Kid Dofi, just wreaking absolute havoc, there are two warlords I really want to touch on. First, Weevil. Assuming the warlords had their DNA taken or something of that nature, would it be possible for a Whitebeard revival arc in some way? Weevil definitely has a larger role to play. People were speculating that Marco does fight Weevil in Sphinx, and he has some death flags, I don't know, maybe. But I think Weevil's purpose could be to give Vegapunk the ability to create a Kid Beard, rather Kid Whitebeard. Our second point is Blackbeard, and I didn't just jump from one point to another, but Blackbeard currently has Whitebeard's fruit. So with the DNA of Weevil and the ability to replicate a fruit, we could totally see a Kid Beard that could use Quake abilities. Now let's pull back out of the rabbit hole for a second, right, and talk about Blackbeard seriously. Kid Blackbeard is tricky, given the fact that Blackbeard has two fruits and is able to steal fruits, and if he is indeed a clone, that is a giant advantage for the Marines, and the entire game has changed up. But maybe I'm giving the Seraphim too much autonomy. Regardless, this introduces a whole new realm of possibilities into the One Piece world, which begs the question, how is Oda going to finish in just 3 years? Now on to our last and final point. The SSG's purpose is to replace the warlords. That being said, I don't think anyone expected for SSG to be so literal, but we can definitely assume that things are about to significantly change on the Marine side. SSG stands for Special Science Group, and we can assume the Seraphim will be the clones of the warlords, and with their fruits, things are going to get hectic. I mean, Kid Hawk slashed a mountain on Amazon Lily in half and forced Blackbeard to use arm and hockey for the first time, which was a nice head nod from Oda, just letting us know that he can absolutely do that. On top of that, they have the typical pacifista beams, which for my power scalers out there is a good compensation for far ranged attacks, but I do wonder about the wings. Are these similar to Sanji and Germa and the lineage factor, or is it just because of Lunarian abilities? We saw how Sanji's power up played out, so I'm just trying to wrap my head around Kid Warlords and the exoskeletons and lineage factors, and I can't lie, even though my Twitter bio says whelmed, I am becoming a bit overwhelmed, because with all this being said, we can also assume that the Seraphim are just a fraction of what the SSG holds and their full power. I mean, if the pacifistas became fodder and now the Seraphim are here to potentially be just fodder, all I can say is that Vegapunk is him. He's that guy. But that being said, what is it that Vegapunk wants? Do we think of Vegapunk's likes and dislikes and his motivations? I mean, from where I'm sitting, I think he might just love science. He's a mad scientist, and maybe he just likes to experiment in gigantification, artificial devil fruits, the pacifistas, and now the Seraphim. And he had some wild schematics in the lab Frankie was in, shout out 3D2Y. Like, this dude is just blowing the world government's bag to do whatever he wants, and I, for one, respect it, all right? When you can use the government's money, you use the government's money. But what's his end goal, right? To this day, Vegapunk remains the most mysterious character in the entire verse, in my opinion. I mean, this chapter was so exciting, man. Leave it to Oda to end not just on a super hype arc, but a saga and the in-between chapters to ramp it up to an 11. We're in for a ride for real. And guys, it's only going to pick up from here because there's so many things Oda's leaving to cliffhangers. The man scarred by fire, the guy Caribou's reporting to, and now the SSG, Blackbeard and Kobe. I think once we meet Vegapunk, that's going to completely change the game and how we perceive things, because he knows so much, and I'm interested in picking his brain, because how can he do the things that he does? Like I said, there's no greater than saying goodbye to the warlords than actually creating clones of them that can compete against them. This man is insane. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about it? Are you excited for the Seraphim? Do you think they'll have lineage factors or special eye powers? Did I miss anything? Leave your thoughts below. And of course, make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Thank you to my members. I appreciate you guys as well. Of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.